Guys, I've decided to change the rant from Little Yellow Book to Back Out There. Why? Because I'm too lazy to do it. But I'll do it in some of feature episodes of my rant series. Anyways, enjoy. Back Out There? Oh my god. This episode from the Loud House sucks. Here are the reasons why this episode sucks in my opinion. The episode starts while at school. Lincoln, Clyde, Rusty, Liam, and Zach are in gym class, playing dodgeball. When the game ends, Lincoln immediately leaves. Clyde, Rusty, Liam, and Zach have become suspicious of his unusual activity, and decide to spy on him to see what the problem is. Sometime later, the four boys see Lincoln hanging out at what was once the Santiago house. Clyde makes the assumption Lincoln is suffering from PBB, which stands for post-breakup blues, which means that he's depressed over the fact that Ronnie Ann is gone, and that he misses her. To fix this, Clyde suggests that they treat Lincoln to BBP. The boys try the first B, which is Boys' Night Out. They invite Lincoln to a suit shop where Rusty's dad works, and lets them rent out some suits. As they leave, Mr. Spokes warns his son that they need to return the suits by tonight, and threatens to punish him for a month if they get the suits dirty. The boys begin hanging out at Gus Games and Grub, where Rusty frantically tries to prevent his friends from getting the suits dirty. As they hang out, everything begins reminding Lincoln of Ronnie Ann, such as a song from the jukebox, dessert with romantic-sounding names, the dancing game, and wrestlers fighting on the TV. Because of this, the boys suggest on taking Lincoln around town, such as a barber shop, a ride in a limo, rock climbing, pottery, riding go-karts, and getting caricatures. As the boys begin to admire the drawing, Lincoln excuses himself. The boys discover that he's once again at Ronnie Ann's. The boys decide to go with the next B, which is finding Lincoln some new beautiful ladies. However, when they exit out of the bush they're hiding in, an oncoming bus narrowly splashes mud onto them. Unfortunately, while they managed to avoid getting mud on them, a bunch of passing birds poop on them. As Rusty worries on how to get the suits cleaned by tonight, Lincoln arrives, and the boys pretend to be surprised at the fact that Renee, a friend of Zach's, is in the comic book store, and she happens to be a huge Ace-savvy fan like Lincoln. Lincoln and Renee seem to get along, but when they spot a limited edition Ace-savvy comic, which is the only one in stock, they begin fighting for it. The next girl the boys suggest is Liam's cousin, Hattie, who is a fan of sci-fi movies. However, Lincoln quickly doesn't get along with her, as she begins spoiling the movie they're watching in front of everyone. The boys ask Rusty if he knows any girls, since he brags about being a ladies' man a lot. However, the girl Rusty suggests is his elderly piano teacher, Dina. The boys begin to question what to do next. Clyde suggests that they hook Lincoln with a girl who doesn't have Lincoln's interests. When Lincoln exits the bathroom after cleaning off all the food thrown at him when he was with Hattie, the boys shove Lincoln into a karate studio, where a girl begins sparring with Lincoln, all while the boys just wince at Lincoln getting beaten up. The boys suggest on using the final step, P, which is paradise. Realizing they don't have enough money for a trip to Hawaii, they suggest on taking Lincoln to a fancy hotel. Lincoln, with his face covered in bandages from the karate girls sparring, is surprised at the boys for giving him an offer like this. When Lincoln asks why they're doing this, the boys reveal that they're trying to cure him of his PBB, because they see him hanging out at Ronnie Ann's former house, and make the assumption that he's not over her. Lincoln laughs at this, saying that he's not suffering from PBB. However, before Lincoln can fully explain himself, the boys shove him into the bus to the hotel. Just when the boys think they've done the right thing, they discover that Lincoln dropped his phone, and Ronnie Ann is calling right now. The boys answer the phone, and tell Ronnie Ann to let Lincoln have some privacy time, since they always see him hanging out at her former house. However, Ronnie Ann explains that the reason why Lincoln hangs out at her former house is because she shipped a package there, and Lincoln waits for it to arrive. The boys, realizing their mistake, hang up, and begin chasing after the bus. Sometime later, Lincoln is back at his house video chatting with Ronnie Ann on his laptop. Lincoln tells her that the boys are being properly punished by being forced to clean off the bird poop stains on the suits. Lincoln tells Ronnie Ann that the package arrived, and Ronnie Ann wants him to open it to see if it's not damaged. Lincoln opens the package, and a pie on a spring splatters onto his face, prompting Ronnie Ann to begin laughing hysterically, saying that it cost her $25 to ship that package, and it was worth it. Ronnie Ann decides to hang up, and Lincoln, despite being annoyed at the fact that he just got pranked, admits that he does miss Ronnie Ann, and that his friends were right, as he smiles confidently and the episode ends. And that's how the episode goes. Thank God I never watched it and I never will. Or else it would waste my time. I don't know who likes or hates this episode, so I'm gonna leave it be. So screw back out there. And screw Project Loud House. Selfie improvement is 73,736,438,373 times better than back out there. End of rant.